Looking ahead, Saturday, November 5th is Feast Local Foods Marketplace in Rochester. It's happening from 10 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon at the Mayo Civic Center. More than 70 food and drink producers from Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin are already signed up to be there, and more are being added as we get closer to the big day. This is an annual event that connects you with people making food here in our area with the goal of creating a sustainable local and regional food system. I have a look at what you can expect at this year's event and why buying local food makes a big difference for you and your community.
This is Enchanted Gardens, and it's a handcrafted red wine vinegar. So this is one of those kind of staples that everybody has a vinegar in their cabinet, but we don't usually think of it as being something maybe that's locally made.
Pantry staples like vinegar and flour, local beer and snacks, and cheeses and cuts of meat. Anything you need to stock your kitchen, you can find at Feast Local Foods Marketplace.
The show is designed to support local food makers and local farmers, in turn, who supply ingredients to local food makers. And what we do is put local eaters like you and me in touch with local food makers.
When you attend Feast, you get to learn about every detail that goes into making your food before you buy it.
When you're at the grocery store and you see products on the shelf, you don't really think about the fact that somebody made that. I mean, and maybe you do, but you get to actually talk with them and ask them, why did they start the company and where do they get their ingredients from and who do they employ?
Locally sourced, grown, and made food doesn't just make a difference for your taste buds. It also makes a difference for your community. Most of Feast vendors are within roughly 100 miles of Rochester.
Why should people be thinking about where their food comes from?
So your money's staying right in your community. And instead of part of that going off to another state, to another country, to another company, it stays right here by someone who employs your neighbors, your friends. They're buying something from a farmer that might live 10 miles down the road from you, 20 miles down the road from you. So it's keeping that money local too. And we know when businesses are local and they have local employees and local products, they're less likely to close their doors in hard times. And so we're not only helping them, but we're helping ourselves.
KIMT is a proud event sponsor. General admission tickets are $10 at the door or $5 in advance. Kids under 12 are free. If you'd like to have the VIP experience, which includes alcohol sampling, tickets are $25 at the door or $20 in advance. To buy tickets, find this story on our website, KIMT.com, under the local news tab. In addition to the food vendors, there are cooking demonstrations, kids activities, and more. Like most in-person events, Feast took a hit during the COVID-19 pandemic, but expects to have roughly the same amount of vendors as it did pre-pandemic.